Welcome back to my cozy corner of the internet. I'm Mayastar, and this is the Mayastar Podcast. I teach energy healing courses online through Mayastar Academy, share spiritual guidance and mystical musings on the Maya Muses blog, and provide healing, ritual, and spellcasting services as a starseeded shaman and professional witch. And today is episode 56 of the Mayastar Podcast, and I'm drawing from an article on the Maya Muses blog at blog.mayastar.net. We're going to be covering higher consciousness, managing stress with energy healing, and exploring ways we can cultivate a peaceful life. As usual, I allow my intuition to guide me, so we'll be meandering around these topics and pursuing the scenic route to enlightenment. If this sounds interesting to you, stick around and while away some time with me as we explore these things together. So sit back, relax your shoulders, take a sip of chamomile tea, exhale deeply, and let's explore. I've been reflecting on the things that restrict us in our manifesting goals this week. If you follow the Mayastar Podcast YouTube channel, you'll notice that I frequently circle back to manifesting and a prosperity mindset. For me, it's the foundation of successful living, and prosperity is about feeling enriched, not about financial prosperity alone. It's quite possible to have money and not be happy. So when we're working on our manifesting goals, I think it's really important to focus on the feeling we want to experience. And often, we can connect with those feelings immediately. It's not something we need to work towards and strive for. It's something we can experience immediately if we can let go of the hindrances and restrictions in the present. So this blog is about what I think the main factor that keeps us from experiencing a feeling of prosperity, happiness, or satisfaction in the present is, and that's stress. Stress and anxiety, how they work together to disrupt your peace. Stress and anxiety go hand in hand. The stress part can come from habits of thinking, but might also come from changes in our circumstances or negative experiences we've had in the past that have cast a long shadow. Managing stress is really trying to avoid allowing those stresses to become habitual and established in the system. If they do, we tend to experience negative emotions like anxiety. If anxiety or depression become established in your life, I think it's always worth seeing a doctor, even if it's just for a bit of perspective, or to find out what the options are if the situation persists. Of course, you can work with energy healing techniques alongside any medical intervention. And in cases where anxiety isn't a clinical problem, energy healing techniques can be really valuable in interrupting the habits of anxiety, just as other relaxation techniques like breathwork or yoga can help you to develop coping strategies. So can energy healing. But here are some thoughts about anxiety and stress that might help you to identify the stressors and the bad habits that they can cause you to fall into. breaking the cycle of stress and anxiety for a healthier and happier life. First of all, let's be clear that stress is to be expected in life. Nobody has an easy life. Some people may be better equipped to deal with stress than others, but learning to manage stress is something we can all do. My emphasis here is that it's unrealistic to imagine that you're aiming to create a life for yourself where you never feel stressed or lose a night's sleep to anxiety. That will happen. But what you can do is get into the habit of noticing when things are going screwy, for want of a better term, so that you can intervene in your own life and habits to avoid it becoming a serious or chronic situation. If we know that stressful times will come up in life, it's worth remembering that stressful times will go too. Of course, during periods of stress, the changes to our brain chemistry can lead us to feel like things had never been okay and will never be okay again. But that's a rationalization of a feeling that's triggered by cortisol and adrenaline, and the entire cocktail of stimulants that your body releases when you're under stress. It does that for a good reason, to help you escape immediate danger if you need to. In the event of an accident or a fight, those chemicals will allow you to hyper-focus, assess the situation, and even run for your life if you need to. But when stress comes from something less immediate, like an unhappy work situation, times when you have a lot of responsibility and no relief, or times when you're going through something like bad health in yourself or someone you love, where a period of stress might go on for a long time, those chemicals aren't useful. In fact, they can make everything feel much worse and lead us to experience anxiety. Cortisol-tinted glasses, understanding stress-induced cycles of negativity. I often think of anxiety as being the experience of looking at the world through cortisol-tinted glasses. Just as when you're happy and secure in life, you look out at the world and see opportunities and hope and all the good things. When you're looking at the world through cortisol-tinted glasses, you see things through a filter. If you feel bad or angry or jealous or bitter or afraid, when you look at the world and interpret events around you, you are likely to unconsciously interpret those events in such a way that they support and validate your current feeling. As Wayne Dyer said, if you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. That's essentially what I'm getting at here. Imagine you wake up one day after a terrible sleep because you've been awake half the night worrying about something. You don't feel equipped to focus on the day because you're tired and your nerves are jangling. You can't focus your intentions on achieving the things you wanted to achieve that day because you simply can't think straight. But you switch on the TV and start getting ready for work. Without your natural resilience in place, the negative headlines get to you more than usual. They seem to echo your own experience of the world today. You feel stressed and afraid, and the TV is pumping out a list of things for you to be afraid of, and you're mentally defenseless and taking it all in. Maybe, after this rough start to the day, you walk to work, and now everything you see is through the cortisol-tinted glasses. A kind old lady says good morning, and instead of smiling and feeling grateful for the human connection, you notice her slow pace and think to yourself, how will I cope when I'm old? Life's bad enough now. Maybe you see a rubbish bag dumped by the side of the road, and instead of thinking that someone's probably about to pick it up and put it in their car and take it to the tip, you start thinking, this area's going downhill. I bet crime levels are getting worse too. And these may be fleeting thoughts, nothing that you particularly focus your attention on, but they seep into your consciousness and have a cumulative effect. This is the point at which you can notice that you're projecting your feelings onto the world around you. You're interpreting the world in ways that support your current experience, but your experience derives from chemicals in your brain and body, chemicals that would gradually recede if you were able to break that loop. The more you notice the negatives, the longer those chemicals last in your brain and body. So while you can't prevent all stress, if you can notice when it's happening, you may be able to avoid it getting worse or stop it from becoming anxiety. There's a good reason to do this too. Extended periods of stress can have a detrimental effect on your physical health, contributing to serious diseases, weakening your immune system, accelerating aging, and damaging your cognitive function. If you appreciate the kind of damage stress can do, you may want to give it up, like any other bad habit. That's where I think energy healing techniques can be helpful. Imagine if, after that rough night, you decide to connect with an anti-stress or pro-positivity energy in the morning. Perhaps you realize that your system is totally wired on cortisol. So today you won't start the day with coffee. You'll have a chamomile tea and spend 15 minutes giving yourself some energy healing before you do anything else. There are lots of energy healing systems that can help, but thinking of those that would be great in periods of stress, I'd recommend the Center of Stillness activation when your mind feels like a whirlwind. This practice can help you to find your calm center, an oasis of soothing space, even in the midst of the maelstrom. The Center of Stillness course is all about reconnecting with your inner peace. It's like hitting the pause button on the chaos, giving yourself space to breathe and reset. Kuan Yin's Compassionate Heart Healing Course. Kuan Yin is the goddess of mercy and compassion, and this modality carries her soothing energy. It's perfect for times you're feeling overwhelmed or emotionally raw, helping you to soften the edges and nurture yourself with kindness. This energy healing practice can also be a great one to use before you go to bed if you find racing thoughts and anxiety tend to spike as you get tired. The Crystal Rose Attunement. This gentle yet powerful energy system is like a balm for the soul. It works to clear negativity and fill your energy filled with love and light, making it easier to release those stress-fueled projections and embrace a more harmonious state of being. The crystal rose can also be a great energy to use in a relaxing bath ritual to amplify the relaxation. Taking a self-care spa day can help you to reset and recalibrate. the Light Sanctuary activation. If you're looking for a more expansive practice, the Light Sanctuary activation helps you to build an energetic safe space, a sanctuary you can retreat to whenever life feels overwhelming. It's like creating your own bubble of peace and positivity, with the added effect of creating a protective energy field around you that can help you bring your energy back to yourself and find your grounding. Spending time in these kinds of energies could be all you need to interrupt that tricky cycle and restore some perspective, working towards higher consciousness without pretending your problems don't exist, acknowledging they do, but further acknowledging that in many cases you can intervene and support yourself to mitigate some of the challenges, can be empowering and could even radically change your life and get you into a positive energy healing habit. Energy healing as a regular spiritual practice can help you to rise above the filter of cortisol-tinted glasses and appreciate that even when you feel bad, it doesn't mean the world is bad. You still feel those low-vibe emotions from time to time. We're all human after all. But they don't swallow you up or redefine the world around you. If you're feeling weighed down by stress or struggling to find balance, energy healing could become a valuable or even essential life skill. When we let go of stress and the negativity it brings, even for a short while, it's amazing how much lighter and clearer we feel. So the next time you catch yourself wearing those cortisol-tinted glasses, take a deep breath. Remind yourself that the world isn't built to the blueprints of your stress, anger or fear. It's simply reflecting the filters you're looking through. And if you're ready, it's time for you to allow energy healing to guide you to a place of stillness, compassion and clarity. If this episode resonated with you and you feel called to explore these energies more deeply, you can find a wide range of distance attunement courses, including all of those mentioned in this episode, by visiting my website at mayastar.net. I offer full support for your spiritual journey, and all attunements are sent using the Orb of Life method, which allows you to receive them wherever you are in the world and at your own pace. You can also explore the latest spiritual guidance, articles and daily energy updates on the Maya Muses blog at blog.mayastar.net. And if you'd like to support my work or join the Mayastar community, you'll find a link for the Mayastar Buy Me a Coffee page in the description of this episode. Wishing you peace, prosperity, and progress in all you do. With blessings.